Huge news from the F1 scene. Andretti's bid got the boot and they are being told to wait until 2028. Despite the green light from the FIA earlier, Formula 1 just slammed the brakes on Andretti's entry. It's a major blow, as they were aiming to make a big splash in the American market, but refusing to bring in an American team with an American motor company will definitely not look good. The big question now is, can Andretti hit back with a lawsuit? Andretti's dreams of joining Formula 1 in 2025 have been dashed for now, as the commercial rights holder of the sport rejected their bid. In a statement, it was explained that Formula 1 management, FOM, did not believe Andretti deserved a spot on the grid in the coming years. However, there is a possibility for Andretti to secure the 11th spot starting from 2028. Back in October, the FIA had initially approved Andretti's technical capabilities after reviewing an expression of interest. However, according to the Concord Agreement, Andretti needed to finalize a commercial deal with F1's owner Liberty Media before being granted entry. Securing this deal proved challenging, as F1 had expressed reluctance to expand the grid unless it could be demonstrated that a new entry would bring clear benefits. So while Andretti's immediate entry is denied, there remains potential for them to join the Formula 1 grid in 2028. After careful consideration and talks with important parties, Formula 1 has decided against allowing Andretti to join the grid. The evaluation process revealed that having an 11th team wouldn't add enough value to the championship, especially if the new entrant isn't expected to be competitive. Formula 1 also expressed concerns about the potential financial strain on current race promoters if an extra team is added. The statement mentioned that having another team could increase operational burdens, incur significant costs for some race promoters, and limit resources for existing competitors. Additionally, Formula 1 couldn't identify any clear positive impact on the commercial value of the championship based on financial results. Formula 1 has taken a stance against Andretti joining the championship due to concerns about their engine situation. Andretti would need to use customer power units from 2025 or 2026, potentially impacting current manufacturers. F1 believes this arrangement isn't ideal for the championship's overall well-being. However, F1 may reconsider its position once Andretti establishes plans for an alliance with Cadillac, which could happen as early as 2028. In such a scenario, if Andretti uses a GM power unit either as a works team or a customer team designing components in-house, F1 would view their application differently. The potential addition of a prestigious new original equipment manufacturer, OEM, as a power unit supplier would be a significant factor in evaluating the value Andretti brings to the championship. Formula 1 aims to make decisions that are right for the business and considers various factors in collaboration with the FIA. In the world of Formula 1, it seems that business considerations often outweigh the spirit of sports and racing. The coveted title of World Driver Champion might as well be compared to an Employee of the Year title in this business-driven environment. Despite the FIA, FOM, and Liberty opening up the application process for new entrants, none were accepted. Even a well-established, well-funded racing team with international success and the backing of the world's largest automobile manufacturer was turned down. Reportedly, they had a massive budget, including $600 million earmarked for fees to the FIA, FOM, and Liberty, with an overall budget exceeding $1 billion. Critics argue that those in charge appear to be territorial and lacking clear direction. The decision raises questions about what exactly the FIA and Liberty were seeking when they opened up the application process. If not a team with a proven racing history, a global manufacturer, and substantial financial resources, then what were the criteria for acceptance? As the situation unfolds, many were eager to hear explanations from Liberty and the FOM regarding their decision. But as always, Formula 1 decision-makers might not provide a detailed explanation for rejecting Andretti's entry, just a generic response like, "It's not the right time." Some are questioning if Andretti has any recourse against what they see as anti-competitive practices. Suggestions have been made for Andretti to explore options like buying an existing team, sponsoring a current team, or proposing a new Grand Prix. However, it's highlighted that these alternatives may not be practical due to teams not being available for sale and existing teams not seeking sponsorship as racing outfits. Moreover, the rejection of Andretti GM, a powerful combination, raises concerns about how to achieve a full grid with more teams and seats in the future, especially when a significant offer like Andretti GM was turned down. The frustration among fans is evident, questioning how Formula One plans to address the challenge of expanding the grid and accommodating more teams and drivers. It's questionable how Formula One can predict that Andretti wouldn't be competitive when they don't even know the competitiveness of teams for the current year or those entering in the future, like Audi. Every new team has to work on becoming competitive over time. That's just the nature of the sport. The decision seems more like biased opinion rather than one based on factual grounds. Stefano Domenicali's statement about making decisions that are right for the business emphasizes the business side of the sport. However, F1 is also a sport, and decisions should consider both sporting and business aspects. Andretti rejection only goes to show anti-competitive behavior resembling a closed-shop cartel, especially after the FIA initially approved Andretti's entry. Formula One has expressed its interest in growing in America, considering it a key market. However, rejecting a significant American operation led by a well-established name with the backing of a major American manufacturer seems contradictory. This decision may risk backlash from the American audience. Moreover, if what Andretti presented with GM is deemed unacceptable, it raises concerns about the feasibility of new teams joining the grid, potentially leading to legal exploration based on the FIA's initial approval. But now the most important question is, can Andretti battle it out in the court? While the FIA regulates motorsports, it's essential to understand that it is distinct from Formula One, F1. F1 operates under a franchise system similar to football or soccer, where they have a set number of entrants. The Concord Agreement, likely defining terms for new teams, involves input from the teams, F1 Group and the FIA. The recent European Super League court cases could be a reference point. In those cases, UEFA and FIFA were found to have violated competition law by restricting competition. However, the FIA might argue that they are not preventing Andretti from participating, but rather limiting the expansion to an 11th team, specifically awarded to Andretti. Andretti could potentially challenge this on anti-competition grounds, especially with the FIA already approving their capabilities. The comparison to the Super League case may not be directly applicable, but the issue revolves around whether F1 is abusing its dominant position by refusing entry based on commercial considerations, potentially amounting to a restraint of trade. F1's likely argument would involve safety concerns and limitations in existing facilities, especially pit lanes. However, this can easily be refuted by pointing out that the FIA has already given approval to Andretti, and F1 has accommodated more than 26 cars in the past. The argument that an 11th team isn't possible right now without GM's involvement raises questions about the economic motivations behind the decision. Here are some of the reasons given by Ed Spencer and David Croft regarding Formula One's decision to reject Andretti's entry. Power unit compulsory supply. Formula One expresses concern about any new team being required to use a compulsory power unit supply over several seasons, which they believe could harm the championship's prestige. Value perception. F1 suggests that while the Andretti name is recognized by fans, their research indicates that F1 would bring more value to the Andretti brand than the other way around. Operational burden. Adding an 11th team is seen as placing an operational burden on race promoters, leading to significant costs and reducing space for other competitors in technical, operational, and commercial aspects. Financial impact. F1 claims they couldn't identify any positive effect on financial results, a crucial indicator of the commercial value of the championship. Competitiveness. The most significant way a new entrant would bring value is by being competitive. F1 doubts Andretti's competitiveness and their ability to compete for podiums and race wins. GM Power Unit Partnership. F1 hints that they might view Andretti differently if they apply for the 2028 championship with a GM Power Unit, suggesting that introducing a prestigious new OEM to the sport could be considered valuable. Challenges for new constructors. F1 raises concerns about Andretti's proposed approach as a novice constructor, designing and building two different cars in their first 2 years under different regulations. They question the understanding of the challenge involved. Dependency on compulsory power unit supply. F1 highlights the risk of Andretti's dependency on a compulsory power unit supply and their ambition to collaborate with GM, which could be perceived as a risk to the supplier's intellectual property. Unique technical challenge. F1 emphasizes that Formula One represents a unique technical challenge that Andretti has not faced before. They believe that the sport's nature, especially with a dependency on a compulsory power unit supply, adds complexity to Andretti's entry. Challenges for new PU manufacturers. F1 acknowledges the significant challenge for new power unit manufacturers and emphasizes that even major automotive manufacturers have struggled in the past.